You know, with the way that entertainment is constantly coming and going nowadays, a lot of times, a lot of people don't end up getting their respects. And one person that I'm seeing really isn't getting his respects nowadays is Yachty, bro. And this shit is actually starting to piss me off a little bit, because everybody has loved to overuse the term mumble rapper to the point that people cringe off the fact of hearing somebody say that. I probably made a lot of y'all cringe of me just saying fucking mumble rapper. But people forget, just a few years ago, Yachty was taking most of these fucking blows of the mumble rapper aesthetic. You know, everybody was giving their turn, tearing Lil Yachty apart, basically calling him shit. You look at even that 2016 XXL class, nobody was taking these blows like Yachty was. And this man was still able to succeed and make millions off his quote unquote garbage music. But what's so crazy is that, like, you start to realize just how long ago 2016 was, because it's like even these little ass kids on the internet, in the academics Instagram comment sections and the simp community of Twitter are just so quick to talk shit about him too. They're saying that he fell off or he's washed up. It's like, what more in Lil Yachty's career does he have to do? What does he have to prove to anybody at this point? This man is a multi-millionaire. Not only has his own music charted, but people forget there was a period where every time Lil Yachty was featured on a song, every time Lil Yachty's presence touched another man's song, that shit was an instant hit. Broccoli, I Spy, D to the A. This man Yachty was on a hot streak of fucking features that he didn't even care about. He was just doing because he fucked with the person that was on the song. This man Yachty really opened up his verse with "We gonna turn this shit to Columbine" and never looked back. What a goddamn goat. Lil Yachty gave a lot of people their highest moments in their careers. People are just so quick to forget all of that, and just now that he's settled down a little bit, basking in the fruits of his own labor that he made, everybody's so quick to, you're trash, oh, you're washed up, oh, you fell off. If Lil Yachty's so trash, you do it then. Hot stuff. Because granted, especially in the beginning, Yachty got a lot of help from that Kelly and Fox video that really boosted One Night to make it the hit that it was. But everybody's so hungry for clout and all this meaningless attention, but majority of people couldn't flip that attention and make it a full-on career with like somebody like Yachty, or even like a fucking Daniel Bergoli. A lot of y'all could not fill their shoes if you tried. And now he's getting a bunch of shit because he wore a dress in his Oprah's bank account music video. It's like, bro, how fragile is our masculinity that we can't see the humor in Lil Yachty pretending to be Oprah? Everybody's screaming Illuminati and he sold his soul. It's like, bro, when are we going to hop off dicks? Huh? That's what I want to know. When are we going to hop off dicks? Why is the straightest man in the room wearing a dress right now? Ask yourselves that. Like, I know you guys want to make it some Illuminati, Tupac's in Cuba ass story, but it's really not that deep. He was just getting into his acting bag and just having fun with it. Like how we came into the game to begin with. Like, where is all this hostility coming from? Honestly, I think what was a key factor in Lil Yachty's downfall in terms of people not respecting him was when he was really pushing that I'm the king of the teens narrative at like 19. First of all, that's not even why we fuck with you. Nobody, like, granted, people like Ebro and everybody else that was chewing him out, he was low-key giving that baton to be like, all right, I'm the forefront of the new young generation of music. But it's like, when it got to a point when that title was overshadowing the one that he created for himself, like he did with Lil Boat 1, where he had Lil Boat, Lil Yachty, the two different rapping personalities, and then Darnell Boat narrating the whole story. Like, I don't know who was in Yachty's head that told him to get rid of that whole premise, but that shit is fire. Like, even how people will be slicing the Melly and Melvin shit, it's like Yachty's was way more thought out than that. Cause to me, it seems like after the bad reception of Teenage Emotions, he was almost like trying to rebrand himself, and he was in that whole aesthetic that made him Lil Yachty in the first place.
I did Teenage Emotions, which was melodic, which was supposed to be like an addition to Lil Boat 1. It was a little bit more pop. It probably was too poppy, but it was melodic, you know, and people fucking hated it. Like, oh my God, they hated it. And it was so good to me, and that really broke me. Like, people always say, that's what you need to make, but then when I do it, they like shit on it, you know. And then when I start rapping and putting out these projects where I'm just rapping, they do better, you know, they get a better response. But then you still have people say, wait, what happened to blah, blah, blah.
Because a lot of people was quick to dismiss Yachty and just call him trash. And a lot of people are still just giving him that label because they never took the time to actually listen to his music. But Yachty's not trash. Like, he has a lot of trash in his catalog. I'll even admit that. But Yachty can make a tough song. And his newer projects like Lil Boat 2 and Nothing to Prove, he had tough songs on there. He had hits, or he had songs that made their noise, but it's not the same when you don't put us in that world that you created for yourself, you know? Yeah, Lil Yachty's rapping on this song, but is this Lil Boat? Darnell hasn't told me shit. This could be an imposter like shit. Because if y'all not ready to have this conversation, I for sure am. When you look back on the classic albums of 2016, Lil Boat 1 has to be there. One Night will go down as a classic. When the 2016 Millennial Tour comes around, if Lil Yachty isn't picked, he better go on a Soulja Boy rant, because that man needs his respects. And really what was Yachty's problem too was that Yachty almost was like distancing himself from what created Lil Yachty in the first place. Like, it was almost like too many people told him that he was shit. So then he kept trying to rebrand himself as a different artist. And you would see him go on Hot 97 and doing freestyles and shit. It's like, why the fuck are you trying this hard to prove to people that you can rap? Who the fuck cares what Ebro thinks? Because the 95% of the people that is bitching about the way that your music sounds was never going to be longtime fans in the first place. I get that you're trying to like prove something to them, but then it got to a point where he was just like trying to be a whole different artist, and he was rapping like everybody else and not really doing the melodic shit anymore. It's like, you know, rapping Yachty's cool, but there's a lot of people that can do rapping Yachty a lot better than Yachty. You know, like, rapping Yachty is not anything special. What made you is the melodic shit and the two persona shit. Lil Boat's cool when it's tied together with Lil Yachty and being narrated by Darnell Boat. And it's like, even creatively, if you didn't want to go that route anymore, at least give us some type of closure. You know, that shit just got dropped out of nowhere. We're all gearing up for Lil Boat 2 to be a continuation of Lil Boat. And this shit is basically just a compilation of songs. You know, some of the songs are cool. Like, this shit is not any, like, I feel like Yachty should have called Lil Boat 2 something else, because that did not give Lil Boat 1 its proper dues. Because that did not give Lil Boat 1 its proper respects.
Baby, I can't go on, so I gotta tell you when I write this song. So I gotta tell you when I write this song. So I gotta tell you when I write this song. Baby, I can't go on, so I gotta tell you when I write this song. So I gotta tell you when I write this song. So I gotta tell you when I write this song.